I am Alan Hops with Dark Hour Haunted House. I'm the creative director here, and we're going to do a bit of a backstage walkthrough with show lights and no sound so you can hear me. And basically it's all to let you guys know that Halloween actually starts Friday. We open Friday night. A lot of times as a haunter, I get asked, you know, what do you do the other 11 months out of the year? And this is a full-time job for many. We get the show ready to go. I wish there were haunted house seeds that just sprouted up, but we have to make all this by hand. So this is our graveyard. This is our graveyard set, and this year is such a weird year because last year we were shut down. We did not open because of COVID last year. So we're all very anxious to get back. And we're excited to get back to haunting and scaring people. And we've had time. I think something that every person who does seasonal events asks for is more time. And we were granted more time last year. So we ended up being able to make the show just way better than it has been before. And I'm very excited to have you guys all see it. So we're walking backstage. That might happen a couple times. We're walking backstage through several of our sets. And all of these sets are laid out just so that we are fully aware of the guest flow, and the actors can also kind of flow around the guests, so that one actor can get more than one scare. I think one of the things I like to say is that it's easy to scare, you know, one or two people, but it's hard to scare a couple thousand people. And being able to control how the actors move and just allowing them to scare the same person a couple times, once they kind of get to know you, I think that's a better scare. This set is a couple years old. We've added a lot of layovers and things to it. This is one of my favorite spots. Because this is where our VIP guests are in there, and they get to scare people inside the show. So that's a lot of fun if you come as a VIP guest. We open up on Friday, 7 to midnight. And that's really the beginning of Halloween. Halloween is kind of my Christmas, and I say November 1st is my New Year's because that's when it all starts over again. But if you come out for Halloween with us, you can see a bunch of the stuff that we did. They'll probably go off one more time as you go through. This is a very small taste of what people get when they're going to actually come through. Right now we're going through all of the sets devoid of monsters, but they are hiding all over the place. I'm going to poke your head in here and I'll show you something. So this is really like behind the scenes, one of our actor areas. Over there is where we came in, and I can see that through a window, and I can track the people. And this is a crypt that we walked by. I can push this big, scary monster head. I can push that out at folks, and the doors open on a pneumatic, and the sound is triggered by a button. So this one actor can go out, the physical presence of the guest through a door over there. They can then become a big giant monster by operating this puppet. And then if you come all the way in here, you'll see that I can scare the beginning or middle of the group here. And then as they turn the corner, I could get the back of the group. And remember us going through that spot. And then right here I'm able to see us come out of where those coffins were, and I could get us scared here on part of the group, and then again, I can come out and be a physical presence. So I may overwork the actors, but none of them are bored. I think that anytime a haunted house they should put a jack-o'-lantern in the show. They should put something. Sometimes haunted houses can stray away from Halloween. We don't want to do that. We know that Halloween it's the most magical time. Just 2 mornings ago was the first morning that I felt fall. And for someone who does what I do for a living, that's like, oh, that's awesome. You know, it's just exciting. So you can tell we have a lot of jack-o'-lanterns in here. This area has a very Halloween feel. Dark Hour is very fantasy-driven as far as that goes. I don't like to have in the show just people killing people, because I can see that on CNN. You know, that's the real world. Right now, the social environment is one where we're almost afraid to be around other people because of what's going on with COVID and the pandemic. So coming to a place like this and being able to turn that relief valve on people and let them scream a little bit, let them laugh a little bit, and get all that stress out of their system. I think this year haunted houses are a big public service for folks. There's a lot of things in the world to be afraid of, and sometimes we just put a face on it and make it okay to scream at. What we call our Zagani village, and this is where werewolves will attack people. There are these Vardo dwellings all around, and of course there's a forest, and there's a simulated forest back here. This set is done with a painted mural on the wall. It's probably too foggy to see that right now, but there's a mural on the wall up here with a silhouette of trees, and that blends into actual trees. And then that blends into, of course, the big scenery, which looks like it's kind of going back into the trees. And again, I mentioned that we have a high fantasy element here. So if you have a fantasy element, you want to inject a little bit of story into it. And this is where, you know, a character can be standing and deliver lines, deliver some story, and really they're a wonderful distraction for all the werewolves that are jumping out from behind things, or little areas like this. This is like a little werewolf apartment. So there's plenty of room in here for them to see you coming through a window. You know, you get the big furry paw, and then they can actually come out and scare the guest over here. And a lot of the detail on sets that we do, it's just for us, you know? A lot of it's for us. Customers don't come out of a haunted house and say, man, you see that crown molding? That was excellent. They're focused on the darkness and the soundtrack and the actors. But since we're here building it, we put in tons of little details. So these are werewolves. So a lot of their decor is phases of the moon. And that's just little things that we put into what we do. That's fun for us, you know. They're winks and nods to culture and pop culture. And now we're exiting the graveyard area and that forest area, and we're going into a manor. The stacked chairs upside down are fun. This way. So one of the tricks that we use in haunts is we have a very busy background. If you look, you can see all of these papers and things up here, and there's spider webs, and there's paintings on the wall and old photographs. And all of these are things for you to look at and distract you, and you're trying to see those details. And even a fake window here that is actually just a trick, because this is a fake mirror. And right here, this is a door. So once you're looking at all those details over there, an actor pops out of here, or they pop out of this mirror here. And now we're leading with light, so you can see that set, and you can see interesting things happening, and that pulls you right through this space while your attention is in this room already. And you're going right in between two curtains where an actor can pop out. Dark Hour's whole backstory is that there's a coven of witches who want to bring about a eclipse, a magical eclipse that lasts forever. They want eternal night. And each section of the show this year is ruled by one of those 13 witches. And this is Lalandra, the vampire witch. So she has that, you know, decrepit manor house type feel, with their coffins on full display. Of course, you have to weave around. Anytime you can weave around scenery, I think that's the best way to partition people off. Join me over here, and this is a real fun spot. You get used to a coffin here, so you walk by a coffin, that directs you this way. You see that this coffin is open, and if you come here, this coffin is open and of course empty. Then behind you, fake mirror opens up, an actor reaches. By the time that scare happens, look back here, this is actually a doorway. So by the time that scares you and you turn around, you look at that, then there's an actor in the coffin who can get a scare. This is one of the fun spots we did this year. One of the things that I get to do is I get to draw inspiration from almost everywhere. And I have found a huge fascination with Pinterest. And on Pinterest, I saw this shelf that was artfully arranged so it looked like a skull. And I kind of did that here. And this is a nice visual for people to look at and kind of catch that the wine glasses are teeth and that the clock is an eye. And while they're, again, soaking in that almost subliminal detail, the secret door, the bookcase opens up, very Scooby-Doo, and the actor gets a scare. So let's do this. This is a painting of Lalandra, the vampire witch, and one of the tricks that we use is, of course, monitors that look like paintings and whatnot, and this looks mirrored, you know, until that light from the monitor is shining through. Here is another mirror gag. There's a light on the other side the actor can pop onto themselves, but you can't see through it until that light is on. And this is one of the few, normally when I'm in here, I'm working and the house lights are on, and a lot of times we have music playing because we're just in here working. So I'm kind of getting a little emotional myself because I haven't really gone through with the house lights on, and you know, you're getting all those haunted house smells that you normally only get once a year or so. So let's go this way. We're going to turn a corner here, and we're going to cheat a little bit. And this is a section that, watch that camera through there. This is a section that we're obviously still working on. This is one we opened Friday, and we have to make the magic up until the time we open. It's often said about haunted houses that the paint is drying on the back of the show when guests are coming into the front. But you use every scrap of time that you have. So I'm sort of showing you guys these sets right now, but they look nothing like they will come when we're open on Friday. There's a whole pile of props to be placed. there's very much a Santa Elves feeling on the night before opening. Because the night before opening, we're always here really late, and we're running around doing those final touches, and that's when a lot of the magic happens. We will shortcut through here. We will come into this space. Now we skipped a lot of the show. At this point, you're not quite a third of the way through, and we skipped a bunch. We're about to head into our lab, and we have Victoria Frankenstein as the steam-powered witch, and she makes an appearance, out here around the corner. But I think I'm going to leave you guys here because we have to keep our secrets and our surprises. Whether you come visit us or not, I want to wish everybody a happy Halloween. Again, we here at Dark Hour open on Friday. If you're further away, if you're too far away for us, visit any haunted house because there's a lot of people working very hard to bring you sweet screams.